1 week, I look at how they played against you on the weekend. They went a man down, and they were still better than you, and might potentially deserve to win that game over you. Definitely the better team than you on the day, despite having 10 men. And against
that.
Leeds, they were horrible.
No, but I've just given you one of the reasons. I said that they've raised their intensity levels. I mean, don't forget they did play Barcelona as well.
So you think that then meant that it had to drop against Leeds?
Yeah, because it's happened to us as well. We had that against Chelsea. So we had Tottenham, we had Bayern. Okay, the Tottenham game, we ended up beating them quite easily, but there's still the intensity of the game and all that goes with it. It's a high-profile game. There's a lot on it. Then we rolled into the Bayern game. That was billed as two best teams in Europe. There was a lot of hard yards to be done there. And then you play Chelsea. That's another hard game. On the day, it was noticeable to me that Chelsea were a level above us in terms of their intensity. Not that they wanted it more. But they were able to give a little bit more. Yes.
Yeah, big time.
Chelsea have rocked up at Leeds, and the reverse has been the case there. You see what I mean?
But things as well.
The other thing I would
Chelsea,
say,
did you see?
just quickly on Chelsea is that they're quite a young team, and they always say, and I do believe it, when you get young teams, they tend to be inconsistent because it's just the nature of the beast. With youth, you get that, initial burst of energy.
I didn't realise that Tosin was Chelsea's oldest player, and he's 28. I didn't realise that. Chelsea, I think this might be a bit of a possible problem for Maresca in that your oldest player, so in theory most experienced, is Tosin, who you signed on a free from Fulham. Like back when Chelsea under Tuchel, right, they won the Champions League, right? They had the young players, like they had a young Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, and who else did they have? They had Loftus-Cheek and co, Tomori, Mark Gay when he was there. Like they had young players, but they also had like Thiago Silva. They had these old early 30s, mid 30s players at Chelsea. Yeah, you can't be a title contender without these players. You think to Liverpool's your last season when you won the league, all of your best players, you got Van Dijk, Salah, Alisson, Robbo, they're all late 20s, early 30s.
I've been Chelsea, there and done it.
Yeah, and they keep signing players who are 19 to 23. And it means that to a certain extent, it means that on days, as you mentioned, but days where against Arsenal, where they're up for it, and the young players have the grit and the speed and the power to be able to get at them. But then you go away to Leeds, as soon as there's a crowd, this is what some of my Chelsea mates have been saying, is that every time there's a little bit of a hostile atmosphere away from home, Chelsea crumble in. Almost every single time, and they make it. Chelsea, they've not won at Old Trafford in I don't know how long. We're not that good at the moment. Like we've been okay, but they went a man down really early, stupid decisions really early on. Sanchez got himself sent off, and even when it went 10-10, it took them another 45 minutes for them to score a goal against us. And away against Leeds and away against some of the other teams. I do think Chelsea, they cannot be title contenders unless Maresca or whoever ends up as manager in the next couple of years brings in players who are 29 plus, like someone like Thiago Silva was.
A bit like Sunderland with Granit Xhaka.
100%.
You've got a guy there that's been around the block. He's experienced. He's not too old, but he's experienced enough to know to calm things down when it needs to be, to up the intensity when it needs to be, talk to the players, cajole them. And even Arsenal this season. Again, I mention Arsenal because we have a good balance in the team at the moment between experienced guys and guys that are, young and raw and ready. You know what I mean? So you need that. Over a long season, you do need that. So, I'm not surprised. I'm not wholly surprised that Chelsea put in.
It just really surprised me. Like in the comments, United versus everybody says, "Are you saying you can't win anything with kids?" No, that's not what I'm saying. Obviously, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that
you can't win anything with kids. Absolutely shocking.
And then we went and won a treble. But what I'm saying is that you need the older, more experienced player to give the kids the floor to be able to play the best version of themselves. Like, yes, in that United team, yes, it was an incredibly young team, right? You're like a young Beckham, young Scholes, young Giggs, Neville, all these guys. But you also had over the years, you had Peter Schmeichel, Eric Cantona, Jaap Stam. You had the older, more experienced players who can sit there and be the baseline for them for when you're in March, when you're in April, when you're going away against Leeds. Because Leeds and Chelsea, by the way, is a fairly significant rivalry as well. I think Chelsea, the only team that Leeds hate more in the Premier League than Chelsea is United. Like, it's a big derby game for them.
Back
especially
when
I
was a kid, that was a massive game.
Huge game.
Jimmy Bremner, Roy Harris, Chopper.
I think it's also been such a...
Alan Clark.
a game that for
Late night.
Leeds as well, so this game for Chelsea, I think it's knocked the wind out of them. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen. Obviously, you would have seen like on Matisse's reaction today, but Matisse's reaction at full time, the video made after the game, he looked so depressed.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand why. I think even though they didn't beat Arsenal, I think out of all of them, both teams, they would come away thinking they'd probably done more to win the game, even with 10 men, or at least they're more happy with the outcome.
Yeah, they were
the
the moral victors.
Yeah, the moral victors. And I mean, they were going around kicking, everyone in sight. It was a lot of fake bad man stuff. It's like from Kai. Yeah, like Caicedo thought he was a bad man, and then you're not, bro. You just got sent off, and you just let your team down. The energy exerted by the whole team for the Arsenal game, they had to make changes for this game. They did, and Leeds just said, you know what, sweet. Come up here. You think you can just play and win? No chance. We're going to make this really difficult for you, and that's why I'm really scared for Saturday. To be honest,
where is that game? Is that
it's away.
It's at Ellen Road. So it's like Leeds had Chelsea, Liverpool back to back, and it's going okay.
They're going to get so much confidence off the back of that.
Imagine last night. Let's say Liverpool won 4-0 last night. Let's say Leeds lost 3-0 last night. The difference but for both teams going into that game would be so different to what it actually is now. They've won, we've drew, and now it's like, right, we're hot. Come on! I mean, we just had James Tuna.
I'm sure you would agree. It's not just it was a draw, but it was like a loss.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna lose my marbles with this. I'm really trying my best. That's a centre back. What's this woke nonsense? Number 22 again. Number 22 again! Oh, toss in. Welcome back! Get the out of my club! Get the out of my club! Get out of my club! I'm a broken man. I'm a man that just cried on stream. This team, what they put me and you and all of us through today, it's only just the beginning, because welcome to December.
Absolutely. I love the production, by the way. I've zoomed in on him. That's so funny. It's his face at the end. Like, that's a face of dejection, because as we talk about, Chelsea maybe not being as up for it after the Arsenal game and everything, but as well, they just made some stupid mistakes. Like I was seeing, I don't know if you've seen the third goal, like Calvert-Lewin's goal, which had an XG, by the way, of 0.99. I don't think there's an XG of 1 even exists. So that's like the easiest shot in the world. It was like 4 in a row. Yeah. So as much as you can blame tiredness or all of that, they're also just making fundamental errors. And they seem to do it every single season. And despite bringing all these players in, that 1 week Pedro Neto looks like, a world beater. Next week, he just looks terrible. Garnacho is the same. Like I saw it at United. One weekend, he looks like the best winger in the world. Next weekend, it looks like he doesn't know how to kick a football. As well, I feel like it goes back to my point of Chelsea have a lack of reliability. Whereas,
but as I said before, you do tend to get that with young players.
Yeah.
1 minute they'll look amazing. I mean, Esteval, against Barcelona, people are saying he's right up there with Yamal and 1 or 2 others.
Well, he completely outdid Yamal on the night. Yeah. Yamal was nowhere to be seen.
A couple of games later, everyone's saying, nah, there's much more work to be done. So that's how it goes with footballers.
And then when you do have stuff like that, you come out with a 2-0 win against Brentford.